What time is it? Podcast time. It's a celebration. What time is it? Podcast time. So when I came to record, it asked me what my name was, and I wrote, Melissa, I'm drunken outside. Do 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 do. Boop ba do boop boop boo doo. I didn't write all of that. I just wrote Melissa with a lot of A's. It's never done that before. I thought it always knew who I am. But anyways, if you don't know who I am, my name is Melissa Hemming, and if a life coach and a therapist had a baby, you'd get me. I am so excited for this weekend. So basically every weekend as of recently, and even during the weeks, has been soccer or football, if you will. And I was just thinking about like all of the ways that life changes us and the ways that it unfolds. And I often talk about that in terms of running. Like running was this catalyst for so many things for me, so many adventures, so many friendships, so much travel, so much building resilience in myself. And it's so funny. Like I sit here and I'm like, the same way that running has changed my life and everything in it. And I sometimes I'm like, if I went back and looked at myself 20 years ago and you said, this is going to be your life, would you believe it? And I would say, no, absolutely not. And soccer has been another thing and ironically, it's another thing that Kaylin has brought into my life. I am such a groupie for my oldest daughter. It's not even funny. She's just sort of introduced these things to me that I've fallen in love with. And I mean, maybe it's her, maybe it's the things, maybe, I don't know, but it's just really fun. So obviously you guys know that we went to England this year to see her favorite soccer team. And so that started for me a love of the Premier League in England. And I really fell in love with everything that she loved in terms of that team and that energy. And honestly, this has been a long time coming, right? It started with my first Hartford Athletic game and being in the stands and being around all the supporters and the energy and the drums and the cheering. And I fell in love with it. So that was I think 2022. And then I became like a flex season pass member where I would just buy you get 6 matches for a certain price and you can choose any of the games that you want. And then last year, 2025, was my first year as a season ticket holder. And this is my second year as a season ticket holder for Hartford Athletic. And I don't like to miss a game. I like to go to all of them. I just love everything about it. And honestly, once I went to that Tottenham game in England, it only further solidified my love for Hartford Athletic. But then the World Cup was coming and I really not only didn't have an interest, I didn't know anything about it. I've never watched the World Cup. I've heard Tucker talk about it because Tucker's a huge soccer fan too. And so I've heard him talk about it and going to the games, and I knew it was exciting that it was coming here. I also was against it coming here because of everything that's happening in our country, and I didn't want bad things to happen to people who don't deserve it, which unfortunately some things did happen. But I didn't know anything. And it sort of unraveled in the very best way. And of course, where it really came, I think, together for me was a watch party that Kaylin invited me to at Parkville Market. So if you're not from Connecticut, Parkville Market is this super, super fun sort of, how would you describe it? Like a smorgasbord of ethnic foods and different cultural dining experiences. You go in and there's just little booths for each restaurant, and you can from Moroccan to Japanese to Puerto Rican to just every food that you could imagine is in Parkville Market. They have drinks there, they have really fun events there, they have a salsa under the stars, which I've been on my to-do list for actually years now, but it's just the coolest place. And so she invited me, this was a couple weeks ago. I was sort of watching and paying attention and following some of the matches, but not really super into it. And she invited me to the Norway-Brazil game. That was my first time at Parkville Market for a watch party, and it was so much fun. I think what is so amazing about the World Cup is how it has brought all of these people together, and it's this way to connect as humans. And honestly, I saw something online that was the U.S. didn't deserve the World Cup, but the US needed the World Cup. And I know for me to be in a place where we're celebrating other cultures and learning about one another's cultures, the World Cup is so fun because of the stories that you hear. And I think what's so cool about it is it's sort of like the Olympics. It's every 4 years. So, you can have someone who's on the tail end of their career and they know they're not coming back, like Messi. Tomorrow's Messi's last World Cup with Argentina. And so it's really fun to just hear all these things. Like, I'm obsessed with the friendship of Jude and Holland. And there's just so much. There's so fucking much. So today I'm actually doing something exciting. I never thought that I would go on the bus with Raza Braza. That's the supporter section, or the supporter group of Hartford Athletic, and we're going to the game in Rhode Island. It's one of the biggest rivalries we have, and I've never done this, so my friend Diego, who does the drums, was like, come. And so I said, why not? I'll come. So I'm going to get on the bus with all of these very excited and enthusiastic guys, hopefully some women, and I'm going to go to the game with them and, have a blast. Hopefully it's supposed to have big storms today, but hopefully we won't be impacted and we can enjoy the game and it'll be really fun. And today is also England, so it's cool. Like, we know that Argentina and Spain is in the final tomorrow, but we find out who's third place with the game today, who's England and, oh my God, France, England and France. So tomorrow's the final. There's a huge watch party at Dillon Stadium where Hartford Athletic plays. So we're going to go out there and watch the final. And I'm excited for it. And I'm also so sad that this is ending because it's been so much fun and such a good distraction. And I also, speaking of distraction, I saw a reel from a content creator yesterday who was talking about how numb she has felt recently with the headlines. I mean, the headlines coming from what is happening in Washington, what's happening in our White House, it never fucking ends. And, I went through a period of numbness, not quite recently, but maybe a month or two ago, and I needed to take a break from it. I did. And, it's so hard to see so many bad things happening and this just feeling so out of control. Like, what do you do? And what she said about, feeling numb is that, it's going to happen, but then we have to get back in it. We have to get back in it and fight and talk and be together and build community in the same way that we did with the World Cup. We have to do it for our country. And what is happening right now, and I've recommitted. So last Monday I did an ice canvassing event in Hartford. We met up and split up into teams and went around with flyers to talk to residents in Hartford about ice in their community, what their rights are, what to do if they see them, the number to report it in their community if you do see an ice vehicle. I still have yet to see anything around me. However, I know that over 400 people have been taken from Hartford, and I've been ready. I've got my whistle. I haven't done the training yet. I have to sign up for the training, but I've been ready, to act. So it always feels so good to me to act. And I think that the ice canvassing event was the first thing that I did that I felt like I was doing something. The other times, like going to rallies and protests, it feels so good. It feels good to build community and to be around people who are like-minded, who are also feeling like, what the fuck? Like I always it's all old white people there, but I sort of always, make a new friend, and, it's so easy to do that in those events. And I love them, but I always am like, I want to tangibly do something. And so it felt good to canvas. It felt good to have those conversations. It's so funny. One of the ladies who answered the door, she was an older white woman. And, I have no chill. None, none. Like, World Cup, it's either I'm oblivious or I'm fucking obsessed. Like, soccer, obsessed. Taylor Swift, I go from, I like Taylor Swift to fucking obsession. I just have no chill. So, and just the way that I am too, even though I'm there talking about ice and this is a horrifying thing that I'm disgusted with, I'm still gonna fucking smile at you. So I'm at the door I've got my flyer. She opens the door and I'm like, hi, we're here going in the neighborhood to talk about ICE in the communities, and you could tell she was not feeling me. She was not feeling any of this, but she was on our side. And she was like, I have a group within my church that we help the immigrant population. So we're like, great, that's awesome. So the lady I was with, Carol's this older lady who is so fun, like an old hippie. I just love her. I love the old white people that come out to these things because she's like, we're doing this for forever. And she can speak full Spanish. She was a nurse practitioner in Hartford. So she's like, hey, do you want to sign up so we can coordinate what you guys are doing in your church and what, we're doing? And the lady was like, sure, I will. She goes, but just so you know, I was really put off cheerful and chipper you guys were. And so, you know me, I was immediately like, I can only be me. I can only be me. Even if I'm talking about fucking ICE killing people on the streets, I may have a smile on my face because I think that's what you should do when you're asking someone to open their door to you, I'm going to be there crying about it. No, I'm going to fucking say, hey, how are you? This is what I'm here for. And I'm going to have a smile on my face. So it was just one of those things, like, I kind of felt bad for like a minute. And then I was like, fuck you, I am me, and if you don't like me, don't sign our little sheet. But this is how I roll, this is who I am, take it or leave it. And she would have left it, and that's totally fine. I would have left her. So you be chipper and all you need to do. And it was funny, I told Carol the next one, I'm like, I'm going to be serious and very somber. And of course I wasn't. The one house that did break my heart was a lady who we had given her the flyer, and she said, she goes, we're all citizens, so we should be fine. And like that broke my heart, because if you've been following the news and if you've been following like what is happening in the country, you're not fine if you're a citizen necessarily. It really matters what the color of your skin is, and how you sound and how you present. And even if you are a citizen, it's not that you won't be detained. You might be detained, and then they figure out your citizenship stuff. But who wants to be detained when you're not treated like a human in detainment? I mean, I don't want to get, and that's something that I saw too. The fucking government tells us that the reason people are being killed is because the people are running over government officials with their cars, which is not fucking true. First of all, if you've watched the videos, I was filled with so much hope this week because one of the accounts that I follow is called the Unnecessary Podcast. And basically it's a brother and a sister who are extremely liberal, and they were raised with, they have two MAGA parents, like they wear the hats and all that. You guys have probably seen them on social media. But what the two kids decided to do is, because they didn't have a relationship with their parents for some time because they were so MAGA, they decided, let's do this podcast and let's talk about the things that are sort of dividing us so that hopefully we can have a relationship. And it's been really interesting to watch. And in the most recent weeks, the father, who's quite miserable, has been, a lot of Trumpers he had a medical situation, he's been out of the picture. And you can see the mom changing. And this week she has said, I've seen what ICE has done, and she is not in support of ICE anymore. And it like filled my whole body with hope, because if we can have some people, like, it's never too late to be like, I may have gotten this wrong, or this was not what I voted for, or this was not what I wanted to see when I chose this. I know that we talk so much shit about Trumpers, but if you just admit that it's fucked up, you're gonna be okay. We're gonna accept you. We're gonna forgive you, because it's better now and to join the resistance than to keep fucking mental gymnastics making this make sense, because it doesn't make sense and it's not right and it's not normal. So I forget where I was going before all of that, but it's so hard to see people. This is what I was going with this. The government tells us that people are using cars as weapons. If you are a citizen of this country and you feel like someone is trying to detain you, but it's wrong, would you stop your car? I had a conversation with a friend about this a couple months ago. I remember back in the day, they used to tell us maybe it was because there was like people impersonating policemen or something. But if you were driving in your car, and there was a cop behind you, but you didn't believe it was a cop, you could just drive to your local police station. They used to say that. I don't even know if that was like valid, but I remember hearing that. Like, if you're scared that it's not a police officer, just drive to the police station. If you're picturing someone who is a citizen of the United States and you know that these fucking ICE agents are murderers, they're not trained. When you are taken into detainment, you are not given clean water, clean food without maggots in it. You're not in an air-conditioned building. You might be laying on a fucking concrete floor, no access to your medical care. Let's say you're a citizen. Are you going to fucking stop for those assholes? Or are you going to say to yourself, this can't be for me because I'm a citizen? That's why they're not stopping. I wouldn't fucking stop for these fucking assholes. I would do what I was taught to do in the 90s and drive to the local fucking police station so they could protect me. Now, I'm not going to be stopped because I have a white face and I don't have brown skin. It is fucking disgusting what is happening in our country because there's racial profiling happening, accepted, and other people are fucking celebrating it. They're fucking celebrating the disgusting shit that is happening right now, and it makes me fucking sick. And like, I don't even know. So to hear the lady at the ICE canvassing place say, you know, we're citizens, it should be fine, and to be able and to have to say like, no, it doesn't mean you're fine. It doesn't mean you're fine at all. And here's your rights to protect yourself. You don't have to let them in your home. Here's all the things that you can do or not do. So it was really good to get involved in that regard. I would encourage you, I've had some people reach out to me to say, like, how do you find these things? It's sort of just, like I say, like taking opportunities. And once you take an opportunity, another one will hopefully present itself. So I started with Indivisible. Indivisible is a group that is a nationwide group, but they also have branches in other communities and towns. So look up on Facebook or do a Google search of Indivisible and get onto the onto the email list. So I get like a nationwide one. I think I get the South Windsor one. And then I'm also on a couple different other mailing lists that I've gotten put on that have different events. There's different ways to protest every week, like we have in Hartford over the highway. We do it in the morning and at night. There's all these different ways to get involved. The only reason I found out about the ICE canvassing event was because I went to the West Hartford rally when one of our community members was taken by ICE at fucking Dunkin' Donuts with his son. So that's how I found out about that. So, you know, talk to people in your community, get involved. It feels so, I cannot tell you. I think there's some sort of like people are scared to go to protests, like something bad is going to happen. I've been to so many and it's peaceful. Whatever they're telling you in the news about the angry left and the dangerous left, like that couldn't be further from the truth. We are there out of peace to bring awareness to this and to stop this from fucking happening. So, you know, come with your kids are always there. It's not dangerous and it feels, I can't tell you, although it may not feel to me like I'm quote unquote doing something, it fills my cup. It sort of ignites the fight in me to keep going. And I'm not going to stop because it's already almost 2 years of this shit. Not even 2 years. A year and a fucking half. We have so long to go and we are winning in some regards. So we have to keep showing up for each other and fight on. So grateful for the World Cup, for the distraction. Also the reminder that we are all fucking human and we all have the same problems and the same feelings and we have the same desire to live. We have the same desire to give our kids the very best life. And we're all where we are right now by happenstance. How did I end up in fucking growing up in Simsbury, Connecticut? I could have easily grown up in Wellsville, New York in my biological father's trailer with no electricity. You know, I know that simple decisions and nothing that had anything to do with me is why I'm privileged enough to live the life that I'm living. And it could have gone a lot of different ways for me. It could have gone a lot of different ways for you. And the minute that we lose sight of that is the minute that we start to feel like we're better than other people. And we're not fucking better than other people. We're not better than other people because they don't speak English were not better than other people because they didn't grow up here, or because they're fighting for their place in this country in a different way, or they had a different financial struggles. Like, we just don't fucking know. And to be able to say, or to criminalize people for that is just fucking disgusting. So that's it. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. If this episode spoke to you, share it with a friend, screenshot it, put it in your stories, tag me. I'd love to hear from you. I appreciate you being here. And go Argentina! Messi, 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 Messi!